is Georgie, our certified yoga instructor. This is brought to you in partnership with Wilkes Recovery Revolution. Thank you for the opportunity to get to share all these awesome classes with you every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. virtually. And if you want to see anything specific going forward or anything you're curious about, please make sure you send a comment below. And also make sure you like or follow this channel and stay tuned for more awesome content. I will be full disclosure this morning. I am enduring my own head cold over this beautiful day. So today's class was originally designed in transitioning to the winter's months, yoga for the turn of the season. But with that being said, I also am going to be incorporating techniques that help people who might be recovering or enduring their own form of illness during this season. It's cold, flu, COVID season. And for those who are going through that, this class could also be very helpful to help open those air passages, to kind of reset, and to still get a little movement, even though you're not feeling your very best. So I hope this is great for you. This class is designed to not use a lot of props or any props at all, rather. But if you wish, you could use the blanket or a block today, or even a pillow if that suits your needs. The theme about today is being kind to your body, being kind and staying in tune to what your needs are today, and use that to carry you throughout your actions in life. And in doing so, you will treat yourself with more care, and in doing so, treating others in the world around you with more care as well. It's all about love this holiday season, so spread the love as you proceed with your actions. So, I've started with seating, but you may also begin in a lie down position of your choice. So let's just start by incorporating our breath this morning. And when I mentioned that I am going through a head cold right now, full disclosure, I may need a tissue or two. So don't ever feel ashamed to have to blow your nose if you're also sick. We are human. We all go through it. It's perfectly normal, and that includes me. So I just wanted to let you guys know that before we get started, that may happen today. But go ahead and get a nice, comfortable seat. Think nice and tall. If you need any prop to lift your hips to find a nice, tall length in the spine, grab a block or blanket and sit on it. Feel your sitting bones on the ground. Just notice first off how you feel. Just notice. Keeping your hands light to your sides if you're laying down or on your belly. And also if you're laying down, invitation to just have your knees bent if that's better suit for you. But if you want to keep your legs nice and long in front of you, you may do so as well. Let's take a breath together. In through the nose, the start, and out through the mouth. Maybe you close your eyes for a few moments or soften your gaze, setting your intention for today's practice. Inhale and exhale. Notice the areas of your body that meets the ground here. Feel supported in your body today. Feel uplifted by the energy coming to meet you from the surface of the ground beneath you. Continue your breath. Think nice and smooth. Long, deep breaths. Breathe in. Fill up the rib cage and out. Continue here for as long as you need, just setting the bar for today, putting aside your to-do list, setting aside any expectations of today, or even in this class. Accept and welcome where you are with open arms, and meet yourself where you are at today. Key thing about being kind to yourself is there's no shame in finding an easier variation or taking a step back, so to speak, to really relish in your inner truth. And you'll also receive the benefit of yoga, even if it might not be as intense as you would hope you would be able to achieve today. Our bodies change every single day. Just note that how you feel today and what you can achieve today will be different than what you can achieve tomorrow. Continue your deep breathing, just a couple more breaths here. Setting the rhythm of today's practice. We're going to start out nice and slow, especially if you feel a little icky this morning. It's also, as I mentioned, themed towards the cold months coming towards us. We all are a little slow with it being cold outside, so just be kind to how you begin. Be kind throughout, and just notice the ways you move throughout the practice today. No judgment, just notice. Alrighty, so I'm going to lie down onto my back from here. So if you're not there, meet me there. Nice and slowly. Take a moment to feel the ground beneath you, feel supported. Bend at the knees. And to start, you could either have your hands, featuring Bentley, everyone. Say hello to Bentley. Good morning, Bentley. So to begin, we're going to start by allowing our knees to fall gently to the left and rising our right arm up beyond the torso. Inhale. Exhale, switch sides. Place your right arm down. Allow your legs gently to fall to the right and lift your left arm up. Getting a nice twist here. Flow motion. Inhale to move to your left with the legs, lifting your right arm up. Feeling the pectoralis of your right side stretch in your right armpit chest. Exhale to lower, knees lift. Inhale to move your knees to the right, lift your left arm up. Let's do this 2 more times on each side, nice and slowly, giving your hips a little massage as we're going back and forth. Inhale, reach the right hand up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach the left hand up. Knees fall to the right. Last set. You're doing wonderfully, my friends. Be generous with how you're moving today, generous with the kindness. Take note of how these stretches feel. And when you're ready, we're going to meet in the center. Knees bent, feet flat on the mat. And go ahead and squeeze your knees in towards the chest. They don't have to make it all the way there, but give them a nice squeeze so you can feel a nice little lift in the tailbone. And maybe invite yourself to a gentle sway from side to side. Giving your low back a massage. Maybe You do little circles here with the knees. Your head and neck do not have to lift off the ground. That's optional. But if you want, you can bring your head and neck to be up to your knees here. They don't have to touch, but to find length here in the head and neck. But again, that's optional. Switch rotation of the knees, the opposite direction this time. Again, finding a low back massage, gentle hip massage here. All right. All right, allow your body's limbs to completely melt to the floor and allow your arms to go above your head and reach all the way up. Feet and hands pulling opposite from each other. Take a big breath in and exhale. Bring it all in together. Make a ball with your body here. We're going to do 3 of these. Inhale, nice long stretch here. And exhale, contract. Last one, full body stretch. And exhale, bring it all together. Beautiful. All right, from here, my friends, cross your right ankle over your left. Grab hold of each foot from the top and press or kick your feet into the palms to find resistance here, to get a stretch in the tops of the feet here. Maybe you can, as you're kicking, you can find your gentle sway side to side. We're just kind of warming up these joints, finding stability, building muscles, finding your breath. Kick, 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 kick. All right, switch, opposite ankle on top this time. And press into the palms press into the tops of the feet. If you find any pain, ease off. You can continue with hugging your knees at your chest if that's better for you, finding that gentle sway side to side. And release. Gorgeous. From here, we're going to bring just one knee at a time. This time we're going to elongate that left leg and squeeze your right knee into the chest. Kind of warming up those joints in the hips here. Maybe gentle motion from heart to shoulder, using the breath. You inhale to center, exhale to shoulder. After about 3 breaths or so, you're going to inhale, squeeze your knee to the chest, then exhale, guide your knee over through to the left and open your right arm out wide. Breathe into that hip on the right side. Maybe find your gaze looking to the right. Breathe deep. Breathe into your belly. Now, there is some big power in utilizing deep breathing. It calms the nerves, it resets the mind, it brings clarity. It allows you fresh perspective in the sense that if you were an overthinker, like I tend to be, you use your breath to kind of step back for a second and reassess with fresh eyes. Bring that all in together. Squeeze both knees in. Elongate the right foot this time. Squeeze the left knee and exhale, left knee to left shoulder. And give your hip flexors a little massage by moving back and forth, utilizing your breath. Inhale, center. Exhale to right shoulder. Now you don't have to grab onto your knee specifically, just hold on through with your shin here. No need to rush. We tend on the second side of practice to rush, but we ought to take a second to kind of step back from that. Inhale to center. Exhale, bring that knee all the way through to the right. Open the right arm out and bring your gaze to the left this time. Breathe deep through the left hip, through to the belly. This is, in its own way, warming up the spine in a gentle way. It's being kind to you in how you move. Already start to notice any changes that you may have felt in the body since we began, or in how you think. Back to center. All right, my friends, roll over to one side, whichever side suits you best, and press up to seated. And we are going to meet in all four tabletop position. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Actually, we're going to go ahead and bring our knees together, walk our hips to our feet, and allow our bellies to cascade over our thighs here. And we will meet together in child's pose, Balasana. Allowing your forehead to relax onto the mat. Breathing into the shoulders here, breathing into the low back. Creating new space. Feeling grounded, noticing the ground that meets your body. Feeling support from within and from the ground up. Take 3 breaths here. And when you're ready, place your palms back to the sides and guide your torso back up to all fours. Knees underneath the hips, wrists under shoulders, fingertips nice and wide like starfish, and claw those fingertips in to support the wrists. I'm going to inhale, drop the belly, look forward. We're going in for some cat and cow. And then exhale, draw the navel up and in, pressing away from the mat, dropping the head. Using your inhale to guide your gaze forward, hips up, dropping the belly. Exhale, round it through. Now use your breath to guide you here. Take your time. Now from here, we're going to utilize a bit of a barrel roll sensation. So from neutral, we're going to use our rib cage. Now use that imagination here or visualization of your ribs rounding through to the bottom to open your heart space as we go into cow pose, and then circling counterclockwise up and pressing away from the mat as we go into cat. Round and forward. And then round and back. Finding a nice open in the shoulders. Keep those fingertips nice and wide. Using your heart to space to open here and rounding through. Take your time. Go nice and slow. No need to rush. Notice more the sensations than trying to go from pose to pose. And again, as I mentioned earlier, be kind with how you move. I'm not trying to force it. I'm trying to create new sensations. And whenever you go into your next cow pose, switch rotation. Remember, using your rib cage to guide you here. This may seem a little funky to someone who's not familiar, and that's okay. This just gives a new perspective on movement. It helps kind of loosen up any mucus you might have in your chest if you have any chest congestion like I do. Use your breath, my friends. You're doing great. And again, don't rush. You remember what I said earlier. We tend to rush the second side, whereas the first one we go slower. So slow it down. Last one. And when you're ready, walk your hands back, hips to the feet, and shake your wrists out, or shake your hands. Take a little pressure off just for now. Maybe do a little wrist rotations. Grab yourself some water. So important during the cold months to stay hydrated. And we'll return back to all fours. Remember, fingertips nice and wide. And we're going to elongate that back foot, the right one to start, and lift it up. Bend that knee, and then reach your right knee towards your right elbow, and then bring your gaze past your right shoulder. Inhale to find length. Wiggle those toes. Keep your foot nice and active here. Exhale, draw the knee into the elbow and look past your right shoulder. Last one. Inhale, find lengthen from the crown of the head to the foot. And exhale, draw your knee towards the elbow. And inhale, straighten that foot. And lower. Beautiful. We're going to try the other side. Fingertips nice and wide. Going to inhale, lengthen that left foot this time. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the elbow. Look past your left elbow. And inhale. Notice if there's a difference here. Use your breath. Move kindly here. Last one. Remember, fingertips nice and wide. Claw into those fingertips. Nice and slow. This isn't a grand movement, but it's a mindful movement. And lower it down. Beautiful. We're going to walk. Actually, we got one more before we go forward. We're going to stay in our neutral pose here. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in, press into the tops of your feet and claw into those fingertips and hover the knees from the mat here. Just starting a little fire here. Breathe. You'll feel a little shakiness, and that's normal. That means you're alive. You're waking up. Warming up the body here. We're going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Beautiful. Bring your knees together, feet together. Walk your hips back and lower your chest and lower your head to the mat. Child's pose. Take a breather. Allow your shoulders to cascade to the sides. Breathe into the shoulder blades. Maybe massage your forehead by swaying your head gently side to side. Do 1 or 2 more breaths at your own pace. And when you're ready, walk yourself back up to all fours, and we will all meet together in downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, bend the knees, bring your hips back and up, and your heart reaches down toward your feet. Let's go take our dogs for a walk here, pedal it out. One heel down and the other. You might hear some pops and cracks here, and that's normal. Smooth breaths. All right, my friends. Take a nice slow stride with your feet all the way up to the top of the mat. And here's a little yoga for when you're sick, or if you're feeling a little runny. Instead of focusing on some big movements here, keep your knees generously bent and your elbows resting on your knees. Keep chin to chest to start. And grab your tissues if you don't have it, just in case. We're going to inhale, carve a line with your nose to look forward. Exhale, chin to chest. Tailbone lowers just a bit. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, chin to chest. Nice and slow. Last one, inhale, look forward. And exhale, elongate the legs and release the arms, forward fold. Shake your head a little yes, a little no. Inhale, slide the hands up to your shins. Elongate the spine here. Exhale, release, forward fold. Place the palms down. Bring back one foot and another. Lower all the way down, down, down to the mat. Bring your palms in line with the rib cage here. Squeeze your elbows together. Press into the tops of your feet and inhale, look forward, cobra. And exhale, fold. Press back up to all fours. From here, we're going to kick up the right foot, just the right foot, and then exhale, squeeze the right knee into the chest to plant the foot in between the palms for a low lunge to start. Excuse me, heart lifts. Nice and light on those toes. See if we can't invite a little inner strength by squeezing our legs into an imaginary line. If you're feeling strong today, you can either A, use your palms to lift your heart space, or even swoop your arms forward and up for a crescent lunge. Breathe. Nice big movement here. Breathe into the heart space. Oh, you can give yourself as much space as you need to, opening the arms even wider, looking up. And then exhale, use your palms to paint a wall, floating the palms down. And from here, we're going to pivot the back foot a quarter turn counterclockwise. And we're going to elongate this right foot straight and walking our torso to the center and up like so. So your right leg is straight, your left foot or your left knee is at a 90-degree angle. If you have sensitive knees, you can reset and get a blanket or roll up your mat to support your knee here. From here, we're going to bring your right hand in front of you to your left hip and think up and over as you inhale from the left up and over to the right. Keep your heart nice and lifted here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Pull your left thumb back. And then exhale, let that left hand fall to the ground here, or maybe grab a block or keep your fingertips nice and light here. Inhale, reach the right hand up. Exhale, up and over. So you're making a nice long line from the right toes to the right fingertips. Pulling that right thumb back. Breathe. Kind of a bit of a wild thing variation here, even though it's a gate side angle. All right, walk your torso to face the front short edge of the mat where we began. Bring your front foot back, and we're going to do a cat-cow to reset. And then we're going to go repeat on the other side. So inhale, lift the left foot up this time. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose here, and then place your left foot this time at the front of the mat. Squeezing the legs into an imaginary line, lifting your heart space. This might be your lunge. You could stay here if you wish. If you want, you can use your palms to lift your heart space up, or you can swoop your arms forward, up, and back, making a crescent lunge. Creating as much space with your arms as needed, squeezing your legs into an imaginary line, pressing firmly into that back foot, the top of your back foot. Bringing your gaze up by carving that line with the nose. Breathe deep. If you want a little extra heart opener, instead of floating the hands down like before, we're going to inhale, exhale, make goalpost arms, bringing your elbows to squeeze back in towards the body, opening the heart space, and then floating the palms down. Beautiful. All right, from here, we're going to pivot the back foot quarter turn clockwise this time. Elongate that left foot to make it straight. Get an option to have the blanket or mat folded underneath the right knee for support. And walk yourself to center and lift up so your body is nice and long with the support of your right knee. I know I'm not facing you, but hopefully you can hear me fine. From here, place your right palm along in front of your belly so your fingers are placed on the right hip. Think up and over as you swoop the right arm up and over to the reach towards the right this time for a nice hamstring stretch, right side body stretch. Pulling the right thumb, right elbow back. Breathe deep. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You're doing great. Keeping your toes on the ground. And on your next exhale, cartwheel down so your right hand places itself onto the mat or block beneath you to the right. And you can bow and arrow your left hand up towards the sky to inhale. And then exhale up and over for a nice long line from your left toes to your left fingertips. Reach, reach, reach. Nice long big movement here. And exhale, bring it back to the front. We're using your hands to walk you over. Go ahead and bring your front foot back. Cat and cow. And we will meet in downward facing dog. Awesome work. From here, go ahead and take a few steps to the center and walk your hands back to the center. So you're doing a forward fold in the very center of the mat. Going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale nice and slowly. We're going to roll it all the way up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Palms facing forward, heart lifts. Feeling your feet nice and grounded. Maybe take a moment to close your eyes and notice how you feel. And just breathe. Just be present in this moment. Beautiful. All right, my friends. From here, turn to face the long edge of your mat here, making your feet nice and wide, parallel. And we're going into a mixture of goddess and starfish. So goddess pose, maybe you have your feet a little angled outward. We're going to have our hands reach up towards the sky to touch, making a bit of a triangle here. Inhale, pull our thumbs back. And exhale, bend those knees, bend the elbows, and squeeze those elbows back. So we're making our shoulder blades squeeze together like we're trying to squeeze a pencil in between our shoulder blades. Breathe here. Take a few breaths. We're cultivating strength here. We're trying to warm our bodies up for this cold winter months, kind of get out of our funk. Remember, the shakiness means you're feeling alive here. You're waking up. You're feeling toasty. And then press up to stretch the arms. Nice standard start here. Wiggle the fingers. All right. So from here, option, you could stay in the starfish. But if you want, you could turn your right foot to face your left and lift onto the top of your right toe and lift off to have your star on one foot. Your star has taken flight. Breathe, breathe, breathe. We're facing the left. Your drishti, your point of focus, is beyond your left hand. You're using your breath here. May feel a little wobbly. If you drop your foot down or even stay on the top of that back toe, that's perfectly normal and perfectly safe. Again, treat yourself with kindness today. And whenever you're ready, drop back down. And exhale, bring your knees out wide. Bring your elbows to bend, goddess pose or saddle pose. Squeezing your elbows back. You make like you're squeezing a pencil in with the shoulder blades. Your arms are feeling it now, so are your legs. Maybe drive yourself a little deeper here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Smooth out your breath, nice and slow. Press up, inhale, reach the arms back up. Starfish. Bring your back toes to face the right side this time. Lift up onto that back toe and lift off if you wish, or you could stay grounded by placing your big toe back on the mat. But if you want your star to face the right, you can play with that for a little while. Keeping your arms lifted, your gaze to the right. Breathe. Keep your heart lifted as well. You got this. If your foot falls, that's perfectly okay. Mine has for sure. And bring it back down. Bring your hands together. Bring your hips down, keeping your knees bent for one last goddess. This time, find a little buoyancy here, nice little looseness in the hips. See if you can't find a little bounciness here. Heart lifts to the sternum lifts to the thumbs. And inhale, straighten the legs, and heel toe the feet together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale. We're going to meet back onto our mat in all fours. Do one more cat and cow. And then we're going to find a seat. Gorgeous. We're feeling nice and warm now. We're feeling awake and we're feeling stronger. Even if it wasn't a significant amount of movement, it still made significant motions in our bodies. Just take a second first before we proceed to just notice any changes, any differences from when you started. And give yourself credit for making it this far. And especially if you're feeling at the start of this class like you were feeling a little funky, cold, or just didn't feel like moving, motion matters, even if it's kind motion. And just because you're kind to yourself does not mean it's not significant. But moving forward, another kind action is our giving ourselves some hip love here. What I'm inviting you to do is take your left foot to start and kind of wrapping your right hand around to the left knee or hooking your left elbow around it and giving a gentle sway side to side. If you feel so inclined, you can even wrap your right elbow around the right or the left foot. Just making sure that you're not hunched over while you do so. Try to keep some integrity in the spine here. Now, normally I would invite you to use a blocker pillow or blanket underneath your hips, but try to avoid that for now. Just see if you can't notice the range of motion in your hips. Play around with that for just a bit. And when you find yourself in a good place, see if you can't find a little rotation, giving yourself a little glute massage here on the left side. And when you're ready, we'll swap rotation. Nice and slowly. All right, release. Place your left ankle underneath the right leg. So your legs are in crisscross. And go ahead and fold forward before we transition to the right from seated. And breathe here, nice 3 long deep breaths. I think I got some tinsel in my room here. Walk yourself back. We're going to swap legs. This time, bring your right foot into your left hand. Keeping your heart nice and lifted, we're going to rock the baby a little back and forth. You can keep your foot nice and erect here. Getting a new, better range of motion in the hips. If you feel so inclined and able, go ahead and hook that left elbow in and around the foot. You're doing great, my friends. And while you keep working on that, if you excuse me, having one of those transparent moments there. Pardon me, guys. Keep rocking the baby, and whenever you're ready, we're going to begin a little rotation one way. You can start either clockwise or counterclockwise, whichever works best for you. Just focus on your breath and not trying to force the sensation as you are just trying to feel it out. You will notice a difference from one side and the other. One's more difficult. Does not mean it has to be the same, like how you manage it. I was more comfortable with hooking my arm around on the other foot, but this one seems a little bit more challenging for me. So when ease off, it'll be there for another day. Go ahead and swap rotations. Again, remember, we're not rushing the opposite side. Take it slow. Okay. All right. Bring that ankle down and we're going to forward fold, seated version, cross legs. Rock your heart space forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, chin to chest. Breathe into the low hips and the back body. And from here, we're going to walk our hands all the way to our left. Our left hand's already all the way down there, and pulling our right palm up and back. And imagine up and over. Keep trying to focus on keeping the right glute nice and glued down. Hey, buddy. And then float the right hand down and flip the left palm and go up and over from the left side. Breathing here. Pulling the left thumb back, bringing your gaze up to your palm. Heart remains lifted, keeping open in the chest. One big thing about heart openers when you're feeling unwell is it creates space so you can breathe better. I've noticed whenever I'm not feeling well that it feels a bit forced to breathe deeply. So this kind of helps loosen congestion in your chest. I know. And it helps create new passageways or better forms so you whenever your muscles around your chest are more loose, it makes it a bit more capable as far as your breathing is concerned. Ain't that right, Bentley? Yeah. He's like, what are you doing? You want to practice yoga with me, buddy? Let's go on to our backs. Nice and slowly. A good way that I'd suggest to make yourself go to your back is point your toes away from your torso, making steeple fingers pressing away from your, or pointing towards your toes, or your toes pointing away from you, and slowly, slowly, slowly rolling down, feeling each vertebrae. So you go all the way down to the mat. We'll meet nice. We're meeting with our body nice and flat. From here, we're going to go into, sorry, we're going to go into bridge pose. So, feet nice and flat, knees bent, press into the palms. Going to inhale, lift our heart or our hips, feeling a nice massage in the spine here. Pressing down and away from our mats, engaging the glutes here, stretching our tailbones to reach towards our knees. Breathe deep. Keep pressing away from the mat. For support, you can use a block underneath your hips here, but that's completely optional. And on your third breath, lower it down, nice and easy, slowly. We're going to do one more bridge pose. Press firmly into the mat. Roll up the hips. Tailbone reaches towards the knees. Breathe 3 slow, deep breaths here. If you can't lift your hips just a little higher. And lower. Bentley, come here, buddy. He hears noises outside. He's fine. Come here, buddy. Bring your knees back into rocking shape. You want to rock back and forth. and open your arms out wide for our supine twist. So from here, we're going to scoot our hips to the right to start, bring your knees into the chest, and allow them to gently fall over to the left. Now, if your leg does not meet the mat or floor to your left, you can use a pillow. Or if your knees do not meet each other, you can place a pillow in between your knees. That's completely optional to you. Bring your gaze to the right. Focus in on allowing your shoulder to meet the mat here. And breathe, breathe, breathe. If you have a dog, to your right side, pet your dog. If you don't, just allow your gaze to soften. Actually, you can allow your gaze to soften even while petting your dog. Just feel nice and relaxed here. Feel ease. Breathe into your belly. Couple more breaths here. And bring your knees back to center. This time, scoot your bums over to the left side of the mat. Squeeze your knees into the chest and allow your legs to fall to the right this time. Bringing your gaze over to the right. Get an option to bring a pillow or a blanket in between the legs or just cushion to the right side of the right knee if it doesn't quite meet the ground or if your knees don't meet each other. Breathe into the spaces that you feel that are tight. Breathe, breathe, breathe. When your mind begins to wander, take a few slow, deep breaths. And unravel nice and slowly. Now, option for yoga freestyle. And I will always love to go back into my personal favorite, which is happy baby, grabbing hold of your big toe or the outer edges of your feet, kicking up one heel at a time for an excellent hamstring stretch. It's really good for the hips, the groin, the hamstrings, the feet. It's good for the soul. No pun intended. Like soles of the foot for those, never mind. Just breathe here. This class, you may have noticed, was a little bit more soft focused, and that's okay. And I say that is because, well, full transparency, I'm doing my own form of recovery, and I think a lot of people are. And it's okay to take slower steps some days. I publish different types of videos for different types of people on different types of days, feeling different types of ways, just so there's something out there for everyone. That's my goal anyway. That's why I always feel that I want to know how you guys are feeling and how I can help you achieve what you're wanting in the days that you go by. I want to make a video for every situation. We all have something going on. Whenever you're nice and settled, go ahead and allow your feet to melt back down to the mat. We will meet in Shavasana, which you may stay in as long as you want here. We're going to stay here for about 4 and 5 minutes here, just to kind of find ease, reconnect with the earth, and breathe, breathe, breathe. Find solace in stillness. Allow yourself to recharge. Allow yourself to take nourishment, take the nourishment in from today's practice. Soften the forehead and the brow bones. If you notice your tongue is stuck to the roof of the mouth, release it. Release the jaw. Find softness in your face and the back of the head. Give yourself permission to find ease in these places. Just breathe for a few minutes and accept this moment of solitude into your hearts today. I'll leave you be for a few minutes and we'll conclude shortly. All right, my friends. Begin by bringing your awareness back into the space. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. Begin a gentle stir from within. Bend your knees. Take your time, nice and slow. Roll over to your favorite side. You could use your hand here as a pillow for as long as you need. We're going to meet in a nice, comfortable seat of your choice. Take your time getting here. We bring our hands to our hearts in gratitude for this moment, for taking this practice for ourselves, and from looking within to see what kindness and how we move matters, and how this can help us whenever things are a bit more difficult as far as our climate, or if we're not feeling well. Yoga can really help open some doors for you. With that being said, we bring our palms to our sternums and we bow chin to chest in a reverent bow and say, silently or aloud, the sacred yoga term, Namaste, which means the light in me sees and honors the light in you. Bentley says, Namaste, me too. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate your patience as I've still in my form of recovery here. And I thank you all for taking the time to practice for yourselves. And thank you, Wilkes Recovery Revolution, for the opportunity to share these practices. I will be sharing with you again next Saturday morning at 11 a.m. And I hope you all have a wonderful week and that things come together perfectly for you. If you will, just let me know how you're feeling down below in the comments, or even if you send a like or heart over here, we greatly appreciate your feedback. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Oops. Oops, sorry, buddy.